Cody.
Hi, I'm Laura.
And this is Elliot, our self-built tiny home on wheels.
We live in the camper full time since 2 months now, and we want to show you what it looks like inside. Come on, have a look. Welcome to our tiny home on wheels. We've got these 2 doors that open up the whole back, like this. They are held open by small hooks behind the doors. I really wanted these 2 back doors because I feel like it opens the inside up. We don't have any windows, so yeah, this just makes the space inside a lot nicer. This is our ladder. As you can see, the inside is quite high, so we have this ladder which just easily folds up and rolls in. It's custom built. Cody designed it and made it himself. When we arrive at our campsite, it's really easy to just pull it out and go inside. So this just easily rolls up to make the door large enough. With the 2 doors opening up and this part of the canvas rolling up, it really opens up this back space, and it's more like on a balcony than in a cave. Behind the canvas here, we've also got a rolled up fly screen, which is very easy to undo and roll down like this and zip up. So if there's mosquitoes or flies or bugs, we can just pull down this fly screen and still have some air coming in. This is our bed. We've got an 18 centimeter high full-size mattress because we didn't want to sleep on just a thin camper mattress. So yeah, this is our bed. It's 140 centimeters wide, 2 meters long, and it's all set up when we set up camp, except for the pillows. They tuck in on the other side behind the mattress. On both sides here we've got flexible goosenecks reading lamps here, so they make light for reading. And on both sides also we have windows, so this part zips open like this. When it's really hot, we open up both sides and have a bit of a cross breeze coming through, and also when the back is open there's even more airflow. So you can sit here while the bed is down, but if you lift this up, it reveals storage space underneath. There's all my scuba gear, some towels, our toiletry bags, some books, more towels, and all kinds of bits and pieces in here. Usually when we use the sitting space in here, the bed is up because usually we go to bed at the same time, but you can sit down with one person being in bed. There's still enough space. Behind this wooden flap is a pull-out table. On this table we work and eat if the weather outside is not as nice, or it's cold, or there's too many flies or mosquitoes outside. Really easy to set up as well. Then we've got these 3 drawers under the table. They are quite big. The top drawer is Cody's clothes drawer. They come up all the way to here. I can still stand inside. They even go in a little bit further underneath. The second drawer is my drawer with my clothes and my laptop, and also some books in the back. And the bottom drawer is smaller because on the other side is the stove drawer, which you will later see in the kitchen. In the bottom drawer we've got most of our electronics, Cody's laptop, some camera gear and chargers, and our little inverter. The little inverter we only set up when we need it. We needed to charge Cody's laptop for our stick mixer and for Cody's shaver, as well as for our little internet router that works with a SIM card. It's a very small inverter. It's only 180 watt, but it's enough for what we need. Under the seat on this side we can access the fridge in our kitchen. So we can just lift off the cushion and the seat top. And then here is a fridge which is in our kitchen, and we can get something out. For example, if there's a storm, which only happened once so far. On the back wall here are two little bamboo boxes attached to the wall, and they just hold little things. On the other side is only one bamboo holder which holds our charger cables, and underneath is a 12-volt power socket as well as two USB plugs. Under this seat we have some more storage space. In here is our first aid kit, some cleaning products and toilet paper, as well as our toilet, which can also be accessed through this door. And on the other half there's some shoes, football and a yoga mat, and there's still a lot of space here which we actually not using, so we can get more stuff. That was it already for in here. Let's go and see the kitchen. On the passenger side of the camper is our kitchen. We love cooking and baking, that's why we dedicated a whole 2 meters of it to the kitchen. So this door just opens up on gas traps and stays open. Let's start on the right. We've got a 45-liter angle fridge freezer, which is on drawer runners. So it pulls out easy for easy access, and the door is on top, so I sometimes have to stand on toes to look in, but it's really easy. At the moment, a third of it is freezer and 2/3 roughly is fridge, but it can be adjusted to be only freezer, only fridge, or the other way around, 1/3 fridge and 2/3 freezer. In front of the fridge we've got a little bit of space for some Weet-Bix, oil and some other staples, salt, vinegar and these things. Very important, above the fridge is this tiny little spice rack. We've got some salt, some baking powder, some herbs and some more different salts. We've got a lot of different salts. And this is the back of the seat inside. We put a blackboard on there, and at the moment it's just some drawings, but we sometimes put German words for Cody in there or just random quotes, whatever we feel like. Now, next to the fridge is our pull-out spice rack with more spices. Most of our spices are for Indian cooking. We lived with an Indian girl last year in Germany, and she taught us how to make Indian curries. So now, thank you Sankami. Now we've got all these Indian spices and some other dry goods down here. Honey, lentils, chickpeas, everything you need. Both the fridge and the spice rack drawers lock in with these drop bolts, spring-loaded drop bolts, so that while we're driving everything stays in place. And surprisingly, everything does stay in place most of the time. We did have some cinnamon accident, but yeah, that's a different story. Over here we've got our sink, which is made from a salad bowl. And yeah, we've got running water. We just have to switch the switch on over here, and then we've got running water. Behind the sink is a little bit of space. We just put a bamboo box here to hold our dishwashing liquids, then these bigger utensils. Now there's some bread there at the moment, and also our toothbrush and toothpaste. Above the sink we've got this fruit and vegetable net. It's usually fuller than this. We have to go to the supermarket. And also we've got onions hanging here. Sometimes there's more nets hanging. And in this little bamboo holder we've got a book with our Indian cooking recipes from our friend, and some more recipes in this tiny book, some spices, some baking powder. Above the sink we've got most of our storage room for dry goods, flour, sugar and cans of food and everything we need. Our steamer, and we got these baskets for it so that we can easily lift them out and access the goods in here. Now, my favorite part of the kitchen is the gas oven, which we made sure to fit in, and of course we have less storage because of it, but we are using the inside of the oven also for storage for some lightweight food. And of course there's the cake trays and cake tins. Under the oven are 3 more drawers. In the top drawer we've got our pans and pot. Only 1 pot, 3 pans, and our camp oven. And my coffee mug. Cody doesn't drink coffee or tea. In this drawer we've got some bowls, our stick mixer and food processor, and reusable Ziploc bags. They are really handy and they take up less space in the fridge and freezer, which is good for us. And most importantly, our handheld egg beater, which we got from Cody's Nana. Thank you, Nana. So these 2 drawers were set in a little bit, and we've got this gap here, so they are set in so that we can actually open them here next to the door frame. And in this gap here are our chopping boards. Down here is our biggest drawer, which contains a little drawer. A drawer in a drawer. So in here are our plates and bowls, our cutlery, and some other little bits and pieces. And then this whole drawer pulls out, either only up to here. This is our workbench area, which is actually enough space for us. Or all the way 1.5 meters out. We've got a 2-burner camp stove, which is enough for us, and it is in here permanently, so we don't have to set it up every time we want to use it. Last minute we built this wind protector, as our kitchen is outside. Sometimes the wind would blow out the flame, so we've got this wind protector to keep cooking in the wind. We thought a lot about the layout of our kitchen. We knew what we wanted in it, but we had to make sure that there would still be enough storage and workbench space. We have been using it now for over 2 months and we are really happy with it. Last but not least, we've got 4 switches over here, which are the top 2 are for our lights up on the door. The middle one is for the extraction fan behind the oven, and the bottom one is for the water pump.
So now on my side of the camper, the driver's side, we have the utilities closet. In here is basically everything that makes this thing work. We have 2 8-kilogram LPG gas bottles. We use one at a time, and when that one gets empty, we swap it over and get the empty one replaced. This runs both the camp stove and the camp oven. Up the very top here in the storage shelf, we have all of our snorkeling gear and spearfishing gear. On the second shelf, we have this big blue box, which is full of all of the tools that we need to repair pretty much anything on the box. It's also full of spare parts and things that that will eventually break down or need to be replaced every now and then. I also have a smaller tool bag and my drill set, so whenever I need to use them, they're close to get to and easy to find. Down the bottom, this is the second tank, obviously. That one's empty at the moment. We have my fishing gear in here, everything's in there and easy to get to. And underneath that, we've got the socket sets for tightening up bolts, because things seem to go loose quite often when you're on the rough roads, corrugations, and another screwdriver set. We have a switch here for a light at the top, so I can find it at night when I need to fix something in an emergency, which hopefully doesn't happen, but you never know. Also inside of the utilities area, we have the electrical system. So at the very top here, we have an MPPT solar regulator that monitors both the incoming power and the outgoing power, and makes sure that the battery, no matter what, the battery is charged up, and stops the batteries from being overly discharged and damaged. Below that is the fuse box. This here has the fuse for every electrical component in the back of the vehicle, so we can make sure that it's all protected and safe. And then we also have the BC-DC charger in the rear here, which charges the batteries off of the engine while we're driving, keeping them topped up, so when we get to camp, if we haven't been driving in the sun all day, then we'll still have a full battery ready to go. Behind the electrical board, we have these 2 12-volt 135 amp hour batteries. They are AGMs, which is great, and they're quite heavy, but they do a terrific job, and they keep everything powered up. We've not once run out of power since we've been on the road in the last 2 months, even though we park in the shade for a couple of days, things like that, to keep everything running perfectly. Also in here, we actually have a 6-meter extension cord for a solar panel. So the solar panels that are on the roof, the rear one is actually removable. So when we park in a particularly shady spot or in a direction that doesn't face north, we can take down that solar panel, plug it in with this. There's an outlet just here, and that allows us to get solar power even when we're not in a perfect location or a perfect positioning, which it comes in handy every now and then. In front of the utilities closet, we have more utilities, I guess. We have the spare tyres. We have access to this on both sides, and we have 2 spare tyres. This one's a spare tyre with a rim, the other side is just a spare tyre, empty. We also have full-length shovel, spear gun, spear fishing gear, and also regular fishing rods and stuff, which are great when we're near the beach. Below that is just more fishing gear, more miscellaneous stuff. We have a set of max tracks in there for if we're down the beach or anywhere where it's particularly sandy. Again, we haven't needed them, but they're there as a backup if we do get into some trouble. We also have a loose fire extinguisher because we haven't found anywhere to put it just yet. Underneath, we have more tools. On this side, we have another set toolbox. This has all of our recovery gear. We've got both tow straps, snatch straps, etc. We've got tent pegs, and we've got ropes and everything you need to set up camp or to recover a vehicle if some situation arises. Back on the kitchen side, we have another box underneath here, and in this one we have all our tyre repair gear. So we have the compressor to pump up the tyres if we need to, and we have spare tubes and patch kits and all the gear that we need to actually repair a tyre, including taking a tyre off the rim and swapping a tyre over, replacing the tube inside or patching the tube inside, and getting it working again in an emergency if we need. In the front section we have 2 more boxes that are very similar. They're almost identical, but they have no door on them. The reason they have no door on them is they're actually grey water tanks. They hold about 50 litres each, and a little bit over 50 litres each, and allow us to store all of our dirty water.
So this is the cab of the Landcruiser. Nothing special. We are using the space behind the seats for storage. So behind my seat there is, the passenger seat, but I'm usually not driving, so. Behind the passenger seat are our camping chairs, and there's usually a bag of potatoes and sometimes rice as well, and whatever else we don't fit anywhere else. And behind the driver's seat are our backpacks. We've got the 2 big backpacks in here, which we need if we fly somewhere, and another small one, as well as this small one, which we use for hiking. In our glove box we've got our guidebook and some other leaflets, as well as our little music box, because we usually don't have radio reception, and this is an old cassette radio. We bought this tiny little music box which we can connect our phones to by Bluetooth and listen to music. We just put it up in here like this. We've got a cigarette lighter USB plug here to charge our phones or camera batteries while driving, and we've got a CB radio over here. It already came with the car, and here in Australia almost everybody has one if you go overland, and you can talk to road trains and trucks, and it's pretty handy. And we do have air conditioning in the front here, which is very good. We use it almost every day because it's hot, and if the sun shines on the windshield it's getting like a sauna in here, so it's really good that we have air conditioning.
The vehicle itself is a 2003 Toyota Landcruiser, very common in Australia and parts of Africa and South America. Originally it was a tray-back ute, but we took the tray off and we put on the camper instead. The vehicle itself is actually basically standard. The only thing we've done is put some increased size suspension on the rear to take the extra weight, and we've added a winch into the front, so if we get into any trouble we can pull ourselves out, or hopefully not need it, but it's there if we do. Sometimes we'll pull out other people too that might be getting into trouble. Very little to say about the vehicle. It's 4.2 litre straight 6 diesel. Up top, on top of the camper, we have 2 solar panels. The front one is 200 watts and the rear one is 120 watts. The rear one is the one I mentioned before, that it can be removed quite easily and then plugged into an extension cord and gives us power when we're parked in the shade or just not in a perfect location. We hope you enjoyed the tour of our camper. We built this camper ourselves from nothing but a pile of aluminium tubes and sheeting, and I really don't think we change anything at all. We are very, very happy with it.
If you're interested, check out the time-lapse of our build here on YouTube, and we've also got a lot more information on our blog. I'll put the link in the description below. Thanks for watching!